And we're live! Happy hump day, everybody. Happy Wednesday. If you didn't know, there is camel emojis, and that makes me very happy. I hope everyone is doing awesome. Welcome to the final stream on the Venture XL. I feel like I've been saying that for a couple of weeks, but no, this will indeed be the last live stream on this printer, at least for a long time. I printed out... I've been doing a lot of printing in the last week since I saw you guys last. So last week we were going to be installing the panels, and I found out that none of the printed parts for the panels were actually included. So I printed out all of the panels, and there we go, it's closed box, and put the heat inserts in so that we don't have to watch me do that, because boy, did that take a while. So hopefully we've got everything we need to get panels on. That's really my only goal for today, is to get these panels on. I also printed out all of the Micron Plus build parts, so we are ready to rock and roll, and now I'm just waiting on the kit. I talked to LDO and Jason, and it should be on the way. It should be here by next Wednesday. If it's not here by next Wednesday for some reason, we will still do a different stream. I don't know what yet. I don't know if I'll probably end up moving the stream setup back upstairs for the Micron Plus build, so we'll find something to work on. Oh my eye, upstairs. Also, apologies in advance. I was tearing out with my dad yesterday, like 6-foot tall weeds in the backyard, and there was just dust and crap flying everywhere. So I took Claritin, but I have been a sneezy mess this morning. So there probably will be lots of muting happening as I blow my nose, because I'm gross. I feel like the weeds, I may have won the battle, but the weeds have still won the war. So who's all here today? Let's see. We've got Nice is in the house. How's it going? Benny's here. Tuxedo. K-Villect, how's it going? Mad Dog, hello. We got Maurice, Lord Gitface, Shrimp Father, Raj is here, Clownhammer is here, RS is here, Hobo, I don't know if I said that, but hi Hobo. I think I said Shrimp a second ago, but if not, hello, hello. Who else? Users here. Anybody else? Magnox, Spanner's here. Mad Dog, I think I just said that. Candyman, how's it going? Hello, everyone. Oh, Armor is here as well. Hope everybody, is doing awesome. Collie's here. How's it going? We got, yeah, I said Spanner. I know I did. Raj, I said too. I think I covered the Gauntlet. Oh, Cal King. Didn't say that yet. Hi, Lisa's here too. I hope everyone is doing awesome. Yeah, man, I've been sleeping rough. So I got coffee. Today will be a bit of a shorter stream. I've been saying the last couple of weeks, like, because the streams were so long with this, that today will be like a 2-hour stream, and then not sticking with it. Today will indeed be a 2-hour stream. So we will, we'll get the giveaway open for Polymaker Filament in an hour and a half, and then we will end the stream with the Polymaker giveaway in exactly like 2 hours from now. So how's the mouse itch? So knock on wood, no new mice since last week's stream. Andrew, thank you so much for the donation, should be getting a package. Oh, sick, awesome. That is awesome. I will definitely check the mailbox in later today. Nice, thank you so much. Yeah, smash the like button. Also, there was I saw two, let's see, Hobo, thank you so much for the 21 months, and Armor, thank you for the 14 months, and Maurice, thank you so much for the 28 months. We'll do just a spam of sound effects. Sorry to everyone's eardrums. Thank you very much. So yeah, let's get this party started. Let's get these panels on. I'm going with just stock panels for now, because that's what it came with, and time and money of getting panels in and figuring out how to flip them over and cut them out on the big CNC. We're going to use what we got to at least get this thing to where lots of dust isn't landing on it. I've been for Lightburn. I was out doing a bunch of laser stuff the last couple days. And I'm gonna have to start doing some CNC stuff soon. So anything I can do to just to make it where all dust isn't just landing on the rails is gonna be awesome. So that is our game plan today. I've got here we go. Hey, what's up, Precursor? Hey, Greybeard. So I got this pulled up. I did all of the printings. I did all the heat inserts. We'll do this magnet and the camera assembly stuff later if there's time, which I don't know there will be. This is primarily what I'm interested in. So we need to install lots of these things. It looks like they're all using M3 T-nuts and M3x8 socket head screws. So let me find that. Yeah, I am just disgusting today. Tuxedo, thank you so much for the 9 months. Happy hump day. I was just saying that I needed to make an emoji of a camel for hump day, because that's when we stream, and turns out that's already a thing, so I don't have to do that. There's actually 2 camels. If you search camel in the emoji, there's one with a single hump and one with a dual hump. So clearly somebody had the vision. So I just need to find where the bag is of M3x8 socket heads, and I feel like it should be a pretty big bag considering, yep, this looks like this is probably it. There's some spilled out, which isn't ideal because I have a feeling we're going to need all of these screws. Okay, put these on the bed. I'm going to mute the mic really quick so I can be gross and blow my nose. Let's see. Mute mic. Okay, so nice. Yep, there's the camels. Yay for building a printer in the Milo enclosure. Yeah, the Milo, I was just talking about the Milo, dude. If the LDO kit doesn't come by next week, then I might pull out the Milo upstairs and try to board swap it. I think I've got both the replacement board from LDO of the stock one that came with the kit initially, and I think I've also got the Big Tree Tack board, so I don't know which one I want to install just yet, but I really want to get, I just really want to get that thing moving and a grooving, man.
AC fund.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much for the donation for the AC fund, man. You rock. I appreciate it. We'll do a cheers for that. Okay, so let's just go ahead and start getting brackets installed. What direction does this go? Let's see. So it looks like, if we look at this image here, it looks like, interesting. So the brackets go from the inside. Yeah, it looks like these are all facing the inside. So the brackets, okay. That's a little bit weird. Let me see if we look a little bit further down here. Okay. This is odd to me. I'm a little bit confused. So I thought, let me show you what I'm seeing and what, like, so this is like the corner brackets. Let's see, can you guys see this a little bit? Kind of, yeah. So I was under the impression that like this would be, you know, like that, like that, like that, and like that in the 4 corners. And then I would install the acrylic from the outside inward. But when we're looking at the actual image here, it looks like they're installing it the opposite direction, where it's basically, you're going to be pressing the acrylic from the inside out. But how is that even possible with the... That doesn't seem possible, unless it just slides in. I'm tempted to pull up CAD. Let's see how long this is going to take to do that. That seems like the opposite of what you should do. Let's see. Shaper. Nope, that's not Shaper. I just don't think there's enough space with the flying gantry. I mean, maybe if you position it weird, the acrylic, but... What is a good Linux view? I'm not a Linux guy. I don't know. The only Linux stuff I would assume that, what is it? FreeCAD is probably, or OpenCAD. Is it FreeCAD is what it's called? Is Shaper not opening? What's happening? Okay, let's try that again. Is it opening on the back end? What is happening here? We need to agree to the privacy policy later. Okay, so the CAD doesn't appear to even be opening. That's very odd. Let's open up our task manager and see if it just somehow got... No, it doesn't appear to be opening at all. What in the world? Okay. So what gives? I haven't changed anything. Let's take a look at somebody else's. I know there was 2 other people that have done venture builds. I know that Venture XL. I know that Taylor didn't do the enclosure, so that won't be useful for this. So let's check out.
Did the lighting project print using cellulose, carbon fiber, nylon?
Let's check out printing perspectives. Is there any shot of the enclosure going on? Okay, so this looks like they did it as I suspected, which is with the acrylic going from the outside in, which that's what makes sense to me. Those are the doors. Okay, so that makes more sense to me. Let's look at the... Let's look at this one more time. So if we have those facing like that, and then the panels, okay, so the panels can sit over. Okay, so we're gonna do it. It's not exactly how I thought it was gonna go, but it should still work fine. So let's go ahead and get this going. I'm gonna bring you guys right here so I can see what you're saying. We are going to need a 2.5mm driver, which is this guy. Okay. So wow, that is a very tight fit. If it's like just right around the motor. So let's start doing this. Move you guys a hair. Boop. All right. So this is a little awkward. It's not really a lot of not really a whole lot of space to get these in. Yeah, no kidding. Jeez, I'm probably gonna need like a flat. Let's see if I use this guy. Can I angle? It would have been nice to install these corner brackets. Oh. Okay, we are down a nut. Off to a good start. It would have been nice to have slid these T-nuts in before we mounted the motors. Especially now that we have gravity working against us. So let's see if I go like this. Okay. Okay, that is in. And we dropped the second one. This is going to be a theme today. I can feel it. Did you get it printing correctly? Yeah, it printed. We printed out a cube. So everything appears to be. Oh my god, I'm dropping nuts the whole stream. So I printed out a cube, so everything seems to be working. The plan is to swap out the tool head. At the very least, I'm going with a. What are words? Oh, Fadis Rapido V2. I just don't know if I'm keeping the stealth burner as the tool head or if we're gonna also swap out the tool head as well. That is to be determined. But yeah, it does appear to be printing. I'm also very likely going to be swapping out some of the. This is gonna be not fun. I'm also going to be swapping out electronics. I don't know exactly what yet. Probably Big Tree Tech stuff, but and I don't know when. But yeah, we're likely going to swap electronics on this as well because I have a feeling we ran into an issue already when we tried running Shake and Tune where the MCU had a timer error, like timer too close error. How the heck am I supposed to get this in? This is such a tight, like, I'm gonna have to go at this extreme angle. This is just not good planning as far as order of operations go. God. I really wish that they had just used the extrusions. I wish they'd used the extrusions for the panels versus these little like standoff things. Okay, so we got one in. Luckily the bottom ones are gonna be definitely easier, but the top ones just kind of suck. So that's in. LTX just did a bunch of work. Yeah, I know LTX is doing custom panels, which honestly I would much rather have done custom panels, but I don't have the panels and this needs to get done. So for now we're gonna, and like, I also like, as much as it's gonna be a little bit annoying that the panels on this are gonna warp because of the way it's designed, I'm gonna be using this for PLA and maybe some PETG. So I don't truly need an incredible enclosure. Granted, I'd like to have an incredible enclosure. It would be, you know, obviously the better option, but the main thing for me is just helping a little bit with the environment in here, as well as keeping dust and debris off of, God, keeping dust and debris off of the rails. That's really the main things. So it keeps crashing with wine, so I take the easy and radical decision to go back to Windows. What's crashing? What program? Okay. Okay, I think I got that nut in place. Yeah, I feel like if they had just, it would have required less printing of parts and it would have been a better enclosure if they just made the panels a little bit larger on this and bolted it to the extrusions versus having all these printed standoffs for the panels. I don't understand that decision. It is a very strange decision. Got it, Fusion 360, okay. Oh, he did a new tool head in electronics, got it, okay. That I have not seen. What tool head did he go with? Let's see, so this needs to come out further. That seems like that might work. Maybe. Okay. That one is in. This needs to go up a little bit higher. There we go. Okay. Are your drivers magnetic? These ones are not. No. The ones I need to use ball drivers for these, at least for these awkward ones, because like I can't get anywhere near straight into this. I do have the LTT screwdriver upstairs, which is magnetic. And then I have the Fabrico drivers, which are not magnetic, that are not ball either. So, but yeah, magnets would be pretty ideal in this situation. Okay, that is not going in. Okay, so we are not aligned clearly. So let's bump this up a hair. These top ones are by far the worst. The rest of them at least were kind of in the open, so it shouldn't be quite so bad, but these ones just suck. I don't even think I'm totally cross-threading this one too. Lovely. Pretty sure that is not, yeah, it's definitely crossed. I just need to get it started. Once I get it started, it should be fine, but it's this whole like, it's just, all right, let's try a different nut. Or maybe not. Did we get it? No, it's still crossing. I think the threads are just rip on this one. So yeah, let's take this one out. Come on, bolt. Okay. Okay. Let me see whether the threads are actually screwed up before I just rule out this nut. Can you install the side first, then slide everything on into place? No, I can't. Actually, yeah, I might be able to. Let's try that. If I leave the side one loose, I might be able to do what you're saying. Let's try that, because the top one's still kind of a little bit awkward, but it's definitely the side ones specifically that are awful. So I didn't seem, wait, did I? Yeah, this nut is completely cross-threaded, so let's not use that one. Let's grab a different nut. Great. Oh my god. I need like a fart sound to play every time I drop one. That's like a thing that Aaron and me do sometimes, where if one of us drops something, the other person goes. Okay, let's try this again. Stick finger in here so it cannot fall all the way. Press into place. And then this needs to go like this. Oh, dropped another screw. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's try this. So let's get this one in. Just loose. We don't care if it's tight. We just want it to go in straight. Okay, so that seems fine. Now, can we slide this up and just... Yes, we can. That is way better. Thank you for suggestion. That is a lot easier. Because the top one is still not great, but it's the side ones that are completely crooked as far as the mounting spot. So let's get this like this. Find our hole. And we dropped a screw again. It's painful. Painful. All right. Doesn't help that the ball, like, the screw just wants to fall because I'm going upwards with a ball driver, which is, let's see if I can use the Fabrico ones because that will give me much better grip on this vertical screw. Let's try this. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that should do it. Okay. Okay, I think we're in. The other one should be a lot easier. The only other thing that kind of sucked was that these parts were intended to be printed in PETG, and in my haste, I didn't scale them. And so when I put in all the heat inserts, I had to clear the holes afterwards because there wasn't enough opening for the heat inserts. Okay, so that works. Now this one should be a lot easier. There's nothing around it. Each drop is a drink? Oh no. That is a dangerous drinking game. That is a very dangerous drinking game. Oh, there's a little piece stuck in here. Let's see. It's one of those little linear rail stops. Yeah, the only magnetic screwdriver I have is the LTT one that's upstairs, which I could go grab it, but it's kind of too wide probably for what I'm doing right here. But I agree, like that magnets would be awesome in this situation. I might need, if anyone has a suggestion for a small form factor magnetic screwdriver, I'm all ears. Okay, that looks good. It's definitely the biggest bummer. Like we epoxy the floors before we moved in here and I love it, but it makes it where if I drop something and don't instantly see where it drops, it's pretty much gone forever. It makes no sound really when it hits the ground. I mean, very little sound. And with all the flakes and stuff, I just can never find anything. So I'm sure that if I took a magnetic tool and swept my floor, I'd find all sorts of goodies. Nope, that is too... That's not going in. Okay, should we do it this time? There we go. Okay. I bought one on Ali. It's working great so far. If you have a link to it, I haven't ordered off Ali in a little bit. I think last time I did was when we got all the stuff for the Tic Tac build. But yeah, if you've got a link, nice. I'll at least put it in my cart so that way next time I order an AliExpress order, I'll add that as well. Hey, Akbal. Okay. Okay. How's everybody's week going? It is, for at least everyone in the US, like getting closer towards Thanksgiving. Okay, that looks like it's aligned pretty good. Nice. Okay, and this guy needs to drop down. Right about there. I'm glad this week is half over. Oh man, rough week. Sorry to hear it. We had some sickness run through the house. It seems like mostly Jack got it. Aaron wasn't feeling good yesterday. But Landon has been having a rough week. We think he's teething already. He's only 2 months old, but Jackson started teething right around this time and it was brutal. Like all of his teeth came in at once. He's basically a piranha and he was like chewing on his crib. It was just really rough. So we think that might be what's going on with Landon as well, which has not been fun for anybody. Okay, so we got those in. Now I know there is okay, so top and bottom uses these bigger guys. Top and bottom uses these, and I'll probably just put these in kind of loose because I'm sure that we'll need to slide them around a little bit to get them to be aligned properly. I'll do my best to align it with the little bolt in the center there, because that I assume is our center point, but still won't go too... I've been watching both you and Kenneth Creator very closely. Oh man. For this build, or are you just studying us very closely? Either way, I'm nervous. Teething is horrible. Lots of crying when my daughter went through it. Yeah. Jackson didn't get sick very much in his first year to year and a half, but he did get a fever a couple times that we're pretty convinced was due to teething. So it's not fun. We got a new crib for Landon because Jackson's was super torn up from him chewing on it. He, from an early age, started just like chewing on his crib when he was teething, and like completely removed a bunch of the paint and crap that was on it. And we tried a lot of stuff. Like, we tried with him the Oragel stuff, and it didn't really seem to work. We tried tons of teethers, tons of like frozen teether treats, and what else did we try? We tried, yeah, like just, I don't know, an assortment of things, and it was like, for the most part, just kind of had to suffer through it. We did occasional Tylenol, like the nights it was really bad, but it still was just awful. Okay, so there's a little bolt here. I'm gonna try my best to align this centered with it. I still think I'll have to nudge this left or right once we actually get the panels on, but hopefully this is at least a close starting point. And on top, I have no idea where center is. I'm gonna eyeball it and then have to slide this thing around. Dan, I still gotta reach out to you. I have some questions about products for you too. Yeah, sounds good. I will be, I'm sure, very slow to reply, as you've, I'm sure, gotten used to. Apologies to anybody that's ever reached out to me, but it's just, I don't know. It's my kryptonite. Like, messages I have the hardest time keeping up with. And so it's like a default that my messages start off with, "I'm sorry for the late reply." It's certainly not like intentional. It's just really difficult for me to keep up with messages. Oops, let's see. Okay. So then this guy is going right here, so. Hey, Kenneth. Hey, what's up, GPs? Hey, D, still haven't messed with my Lightburn bridge again, but thanks for your time and effort. Yeah, no worries at all, man. I hope you're able to get it figured out. It sucks that it's not working for you. I have bridge set up. You can actually see it. If I go like this, if I go like this and I go like this, oh, geez, sorry about that. You can see my bridge right there. There's a little Raspberry Pi, but I set up a separate network for it, and every time I'm using my computer, forget to either switch over to it or whatever. So I end up, half the time I'm just using USB. I had to do a bunch of laser stuff this last week for a video I'm working on for Lightburn, and I just used USB for everything. Bearded, thank you so much for the Get membership. Let's see, can I do sound effects? No, I need to grab the, hold on. I gotta hit the button. Air horn for Bearded. Thank you, Bearded. Okay, so we got one of these in. Let's get the other guy in. There we go. Okay. Thanks for rubbing it in. Oh no, that wasn't my goal. Pretty standard ADHD habit to be trying messaging. I only avoid it by being on the PC the whole time. I mean, I'm on the PC the whole time too, but it's a combination. Like, the three main places I get hit up for messages are like Twitter or X, right? Emails are insane, and then Discord as well. And so I have to mark on my like to-do list for the day like messages to actually get to messages, because otherwise, like, I just get so distracted. And also, every time I open a message and start reading it, like, something in the message usually squirrels me out into something else, and then it takes forever to get through messages because I get so distracted by everything. And then I run such a tight schedule with video stuff that I always prioritize like getting a video out versus responding to messages, and then I just feel bad. I wish I could do it quicker or be more effective with it, but I'm just not. Okay, so this one I'm gonna leave pretty loose. Let's see if I go like this. Can we? Wow, that is not as loose as I thought I had it. So this guy specifically. Are we scratching a little bit? No, not really. Okay, so we'll leave this one loose because I have no idea where center is. We'll probably do the same thing with the side ones as well. Yeah, so and I've talked about this a lot, but like I've been a vampire for most of my life. Like I work best at nighttime when everybody else is being normal and sleeping, and there's less distractions, and so I'm able to kind of, you know, get more stuff done. But the issue is, like, I don't love that I'm up so late, and especially now having kiddos, it makes it where I'm even more exhausted than I was all the time. And so I've tried here and there, like getting on more of a regular schedule, and the issue I run into is that this only has one bolt. It's interesting. The issue I run into is that, like, if I somehow convince myself to go to bed early, which is quite difficult, I have to basically not look at anything interesting, which a lot of things interest me. So that's like no phone, no TV, like nothing stimulating. So it's like maybe a book or something like that. And the issue is, though, if I'm up at a normal time, I get so distracted during the day that I still don't get as much done as during vampire mode. Like, largely now because of having kids, like Jackson wants to run upstairs and say hi or yell dad from downstairs. And so when I get into, like, the way I am is when I'm in my zone, I can just crush out work. And like, I'm really proud of how much stuff I'm able to get done. But if I get pulled away from my focus, I can't just hop back in and get right back to it. It's like this whole thing of like getting back into focus mode and getting back into that, like, you know, really effective work mode. And so if I get pulled away from it, it's just very challenging for me to get back into it. And so part of, I'm actually gonna rotate this. I don't like having the nut sticking out. So part of the issue is that even if I go to bed early, there's so many distractions during the day that I don't get nearly as much stuff done. I tried melatonin. I got these like gummy chewable things, and I tried it for about a month and a half, and I felt like it was kind of working maybe. And then all of a sudden it felt like it wasn't working at all anymore. And I was up at 3 in the morning, just staring at the ceiling, trying to sleep. So, hey, what's up, Ol? What's up, Beads? I thought the printer was a camera. Wait, I thought the printer was a camera close-up. What? What do you, I don't even know what that means. I thought the printer was a camera close-up. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, that's in, but we need to rotate it like that. Okay, and yeah, I don't know where center is on this side here, so we're just gonna leave it kind of loose, and maybe that's center. I don't know, probably not, maybe right there. Okay, one more, and then we can put our first side of panels on, which I'm really excited about. The side with the electronics box is gonna be a nightmare to get the panels on. I'm gonna have to pull the box, which I probably am not even gonna attempt today. That will be rough. And then, yeah, I think everything else should be okay. Sorry about the light being behind the extrusion. I know that's gonna look kind of crappy. Hopefully it's only momentarily. Bourbon. I don't really like the melatonin nightmares. I don't get that. I mentioned it before, but like I have panic attacks. It's something that I developed in my early 20s, and so I actually take something for that helps a lot. But a side effect of the medication is that night terrors. And so crap, it's the wrong way again. Yeah. So I don't usually dream, but if I do have a dream, usually it's a nightmare. It's pretty a vivid nightmare as well. So that's fun. But the melatonin specifically, I don't think made it any worse. You described my life too. ADHD meds made a huge difference. Melatonin effectiveness tapers the longer you use it. I figured as much. I figured it was probably a building up a tolerance or something like that. I haven't tried ADHD meds. Like, I'm not saying, I have nothing against it, and I'm not saying that it wouldn't be super beneficial. I feel like at this point in my life, I've gotten pretty good at working around the limitation, if you will. And sometimes it feels like a superpower when I'm in the zone. But then the other times where I just want to focus and it's like the only thing my brain doesn't want to do, then it feels like it can be pretty debilitating. But I've done a pretty good job of, I feel like, figuring out how to keep the crazy at bay. But it's a struggle, man. It's a struggle, and every like chapter of life has different things that make it harder to focus or easier to focus. So a snort of good tequila, that sounds awful. Yeah, I would say in my early 20s, I was working at a bar when me and Aaron met, and that was definitely something I leaned on, was like a few drinks, and you know, I could knock out pretty good. But I've got stomach issues and I've gotten older. I don't really like drinking very much. Like a social event, sure, a holiday, sure, like an occasional beer here and there, but like I just don't regularly. Plus, like my schedule is so busy that even if I have just like a single drink, it completely like either makes me lazy or lethargic feeling, or I just can't concentrate as much. And a lot of what I'm doing on video and like scripting and research like is quite technical, and I feel like I just need like as much focus as I can get. And anytime I drink anything, like that goes out the window. So okay, so panel time, baby. So we need panels. We need 2 panels, and then we need our little aluminum extrusion that goes in the center, our H profile. What is this? H profile, and then it says transparent. I don't know what that means. Is that saying that the acrylic is what's transparent? I don't really know what they're trying to say here. My son got 600 EG of melatonin daily, 2 adult normal intake. Wow. How old is your kiddo? Your kiddo's not, he's like teens or no? I can't remember. Yeah, vivid dreams can be quite disturbing at times, even those that can't be really considered nightmares. Yeah, I used to dream a lot as a kid, like both like actual, like, you know, dreams that are like, oh, that's a nice dream, and also ones where it's like, oh, that's terrifying. But oops, not so, oh, come on, there we go. Not so much lately. I did finally, I think I told you guys this, but like I finally switched over from a dental apparatus for sleep apnea to a CPAP, and that has been pretty awesome. I actually really like using the CPAP and have had some dreams with it because I'm actually getting deeper sleep, but yeah, it's still not that frequent. Okay, so I'm looking really quickly here to see what panels we've got. This looks like, so this looks like one of the panels. Yep, that seems like that is correct. Okay, so now it's gonna be a peeling simulator. So let me grab both of these, and then you guys can watch me struggle at peeling off the cover on this. We've done that plenty of times in streams, and that's always fun for everybody. Ooh-ah. Exercise is the one thing that I really wish that I could get myself to commit to more, because it does help me sleep better and feel better and focus more. I just am able to find every excuse in the book to prioritize anything but exercising. 12, okay, got it. Yeah, I was gonna say, I knew that like he was not adult, but like not, you know, not like my kiddos. So I got diagnosed with ADHD, among other things, last year at 53. I'm on extended release Adderall, and it kind of helps, but not nearly as much as I'd like. Yeah, I feel like with a lot of medications, it is definitely not this just solves everything. And also, like, a lot of times getting the right medication and the like dosage is a huge part of it, because it was like that with me with my panic attacks. It took a little bit to figure out like a dosage that was effective and that would work, and I've been taking the same dosage for 10 years now or something like that. I haven't had to go up, which is nice. It's a pretty low dosage, but it helps. I still get like panic attacks a bit, but they're not like before when they were debilitating and I thought that everything was gonna end. Like, it was terrifying. So I'm thankful for that. Hey, Steve. Working out daily has definitely helped my sleep. Yeah. I have no excuses either. I bought a treadmill. So we have a treadmill that never gets used. And during when COVID hit and I wasn't really able to do a whole lot outside, I bought a just inexpensive Amazon exercise like elliptical bike. So we have that as well in the guest room. And then in the garage right here, you guys can probably only kind of see it. There's a like multi-purpose workout setup, and I've got dumbbells as well. So like I have all the things here, right? So I thought for sure that once I got the things, I would have an easier time because I wouldn't have to, you know, leave and go to the gym and like plan it. I could just do it, and it still just hasn't been the case. And time isn't really an excuse because I do spend, you know, I do spend time like scrolling, and if man, there's not a trash here. I'm gonna throw this on the ground now. And if I substituted the scrolling time for exercise time, or even like put on a YouTube video or podcast, like I could totally do it. It's just it's mental is all it is. I got diagnosed 47 and the meds definitely helped. Then I got a couple of heart conditions. Oh man. Sorry to hear that. Is it because the meds are like blood thinners and that affects the heart stuff? I don't really know the correlation between the two medications. It doesn't take long. I just spent 15 minutes a day. Yeah, that's the thing too, is like I'm trying, because I've definitely had those, like most people in life, right? Like whether it's a New Year's resolution or something like that, you're like, I'm gonna work out this year, like that's gonna be my big thing. And so I've done a few times where I've like started off and I've gone really hard with it, where I'm like, I'm gonna do this, that, and this. And I know that usually what happens is go a little bit too hard, super sore for, you know, a couple days, and then you kind of fall off. And so I've even tried like kind of what you're describing, which is, hey, like let's not make it this big thing. Let's just go out and do a short little thing, and that can be it. And just really to build up a like make it part of your routine and schedule, because that's the hardest part. I think it takes, was it 30 days to build a habit or something? I don't know exactly, but I think that's what they say. And so that's the hardest part, I think, is just making it part of your norm, where it doesn't feel like this like drag of a thing that you have to do. It's just like, no, that's part of my daily or weekly routine. I did yesterday. My parents are really big on exercising. They're both retired now, but my dad worked out like, I think he said 5 days this week. And yesterday he came over for a little bit. Sorry, my nose is itchy. Yesterday he came over for a little bit, and he had worked out for an hour and a half, I think a couple hours. And then he did a 3-mile walk with my mom. And then he came over and played pickleball with me and smoked me. He won. He's a beast. We grew up playing a lot of tennis and ping pong together, and he is just really good. So I definitely have the example of healthy lifestyle that's been in front of me my whole life, but just not something I've taken on yet. You can search how soldiers learn to sleep. I noticed that the majority of the community is predominantly ADHD. Yeah, it's kind of funny. So like, I didn't really know what that was. My mom is born and raised in Sweden her whole life until, you know, her 20s, I guess. Not her whole life, but her childhood. And then my dad was like surfer, hippie type, and never really talked about like medical stuff. My parents are always like, yeah, we go to the doctor for, you know, like your basic annual checkups and stuff like that. But other than that, you don't really go to the doctor for things. And so I certainly never had heard of ADHD at all. And then getting into 3D printing specifically is when I started to hear a little bit more about it. And then like I work at Lightburn, and everyone probably has it. It seems to be definitely a thing in like the tech space, or like that sort of, I don't know, critical thinking, hyper focus thing. Like, I mean, that's what it is, I guess, right? It's sort of that. So I've seen a lot more of it, and it actually was a huge relief for me, because I never knew what was wrong with me, right? Like I just felt like, man, my brain doesn't operate the way a lot of my friends do. And so I never really understood it. And so once I kind of understood it, I was like, oh, okay, like I'm not, you know, there's not something wrong with me. Well, like maybe there is, but like it's not this anomaly, right? Like it's a pretty common thing. I just hadn't been made aware of it. So yeah, the hyperfocus is my favorite part of it. The only downside of that is that I don't really seem to get to choose what I hyperfocus on. Like there could be a thing that I know needs to get done, but if my brain isn't interested in it, it is like watching paint dry. So it's such a difficult thing. But if I'm interested in something, I can just like sponge it up and just sit there, and it feels like I'm downloading from the Matrix. Like I mean, it sounds maybe silly, but like that's truly how it feels to me. which is awesome with like 3D printing and video stuff, because this is really the only thing in life that I've been this level of passionate about and been able to stick to, because for a lot of people, I think that there are what they call like collectors of hobbies, and that's largely been me a lot of my life prior to this, was like getting really into something and diving in like head first, then all of a sudden having no more interest in it ever. I work out in the morning before work. I get there at about 5:30. I know if I don't go, then I won't go. Yeah, that's fair. Because of my vampire schedule, like I'm not a morning person at all, but I can completely understand why people do mornings. It also, like, the times I have gotten myself to work out in the morning, you feel good, right? Like, you kind of feel like just, you leave the gym or your workout area and you kind of feel like a winner. And like, even if nothing else happens that day, like you already feel like you've been productive. So I absolutely understand the appeal of working out early morning. You start your day off, you know, right, so to speak. So let's see, what are we using? These are M36 button heads. Okay, so let me start by not cracking this piece of acrylic. We're just gonna lay it across the gantry here like this. And then I need to find M36 button heads, which I know I found a moment ago, because when I was looking for, those look like M38s. These might be M36s. Do I have, you know what? I did put batteries in my calipers. Let me just check this really quick. 1 second, y'all. Wow. Okay, I put batteries in my calipers, but where did I put my calipers? That is the question. I think it's right here. Yes. There's so many cables like HDMI halfway up in the air that it feels very Indiana Jones booby traps in here. Okay, I worked 12 hours today, but my brain is still working it. Yeah, my brain, the way I've described it to most people, is either complete mush or this feels like it's 8mm. I don't think it's right. Yeah, it's either complete mush or it's the hamster on the wheel going a million miles an hour. Like, there's no in between. It's either like completely, like, you know, lights on, nobody's home, or hamsters on the wheel and we're moving, we're going places. So it's there we go. These got to be it. Yeah, M36 is awesome. And then we'll grab the Fabrico 2mm driver. So I think what we'll start trying to do is putting on the 3 leftmost. Let's see. Let me turn you guys like this. Oh, I can the acrylic. Let's not break you. Okay, focus. Here we go. Okay, so that's probably as far out as I can get you guys. That's awful with the light. Let's see, can I put you guys, I'm gonna unplug the HDMI cable real quick. So you guys are gonna, well, you guys can't even see this yet. So let me route this differently so I get a little bit more distance. Okay. Under the 2x4. Okay, let's see if this works. What? Oh, got caught on a clamp. Come on, baby. There we go. Okay, I think that gave me at least another foot to work with. Okay. Let's see. So I just want to get you guys a little bit further back and not directly facing the light. That's a little bit better. It's still not fantastic, but we got to work within our parameters here. I think that works. Okay, let's change the view to side view. There we go. That works. There we go. LTX, what's going on, man? Armor was just talking about your new toolhead setup, I think, for this printer. It's going. I got all the parts printed out. The only whoopsie I did was I didn't scale for ABS, or I guess ASA is what I printed in. So I had to clear out all of the threaded inserts, but I'm trying to get this on so that way at least I can keep some dust out of this until I figure out long-term what I'm gonna do. Okay. Screw's totally gonna pop out on me. Can I start it with my fingers? Oh, there's our first acrylic scratches. Okay, let's try this a little bit differently. Let's see if I just set this in place and align this like that. There we go. full. Yes. All right, baby. Okay, first screws in. Okay, let's do a couple more of these. My printer is no longer FYSETC. It's a big boy printer now with all LDL electronics. Nice. What is the full, like, give me the bomb of what you've swapped in. Okay, this is definitely cross-threading a little bit. Okay. Okay, that's okay. Okay, so we're gonna get this side in, and then we will put the H bracket thing on the center, the little aluminum profile. There was one heat insert that I knew was gonna be cross-threaded, and hopefully that was the only one. All right. Okay, so now we have a bunch of these little aluminum profile guys that need to go. Okay, so I screwed this up a little bit. I need to loosen these. Got a buffer? Anyone else? Oh, speaking of buffers, I got something in. I'm probably gonna make a full video on this because I think it's pretty cool. But Mello reached out a while ago and asked if there was like any sort of collaboration thing I'd want to do. And I happened to see these and thought that they looked really neat. They don't work the same way I had hoped, at least right now. I was hoping that you can run 2 extruders in Tamden, which would help with printing flexible filaments, but they sent a complete version and a buffer version. So I'm probably gonna do a full video on this guy. I don't know how well you can see this. Let me focus in a little bit. But yeah, this will allow me to mount this off to the side probably somewhere. And then on this printer specifically, this makes a ton of sense. Feed the filament into it, then have this motor inside here, grab it, feed it to the extruder, and then work together versus me having to manually feed forever in. So pretty excited about this. I believe that they sent was this one that is like already pre-built, and this is the kit version. So we'll build the kit version. I'll probably just do a video on it. I don't think it'll be a stream, but I am quite excited about that. After using things like AMS systems and like the Snapmaker that has the side loading buffers, I'm a big fan of auto loading filament to the tool head. It's really nice. And the bigger the printer, the more it makes sense. This one specifically, I was like, oh man, like that feels like such a nice upgrade for it. I'm waiting for one of those too. Sweet, yeah. I really like the idea of it. Okay, so this needs to go like this. Okay, and then this can just sort of slide in right here. Okay, this needs to go like that. So I think I can bolt down this now. Can't actually get the driver down there. I can tighten this a bit more once I can move the axes, the gantry up, then it'll be a little bit easier. But for now, I think that should work. And do the top. There we go. I do like this little aluminum midway point. Since they didn't make the panels unibody, I do really like this aluminum piece to help keep some of that flex out of it. So, well, it's not bolted down, so that's not a fair, I guess that's not a fair assessment of it yet, but okay, so what do I want to do now? I think the next step is going to be to leave it loose. Let's peel the next one and then slide that in, and then we'll bolt things in. We are using the Mello 3. What is that? I don't know what that is. Is that a main controller? Yeah, I mean, right now I've got it set up where I'm just feeding the Venture from, you know, top down, so it's no big deal. But once the panels are on it, that's not going to be an option. So yeah, when I was looking through like the different products they had coming out, I was like, okay, that seems like one that is kind of a niche product. I think that I saw it because they released a YouTube video, and one of the first thoughts I had was the same thought as other people, which was, can they be ran in Tamden, where basically, if you're printing TPU, as the extruder's extruding, can the Mello buffer be extruding at the same time, so that way you're keeping even tension on the TPU the entire way through. And they said that it wasn't possible. I think that it is possible. I think it's a limitation of probably the macros and stuff they have in place right now, but that could be really cool because it should allow you to print with more flexible filaments, potentially even a bit quicker by not having that whole, because usually when you're printing with flexibles, it's elastic, right? So, and also you're gonna have issues with the PTFE tube regardless. So you can't go super soft because once you get below a certain shore hardness, the PTFE tube, the Teflon isn't even slippery enough. But normally when you're printing with like a flexible filament, you've got this elasticity of it. So it gets grabbed by the extruder pulls it, and then it starts to stretch, right? Like there's some sort of drag, some form of stretch happening. And the issue with that is if you have any sort of retractions, then it can stretch back a little bit too much, or it can just lead to inconsistency. So if you had a secondary point that was working along with it, then you would get rid of the stretching between, like the stretching wouldn't be happening between those 2 points really. It would be uniform feeding between the two. So it's awesome. I talked to is it A3DP? What's the company that makes the? I think you had one. We were talking about this armor, the blue FXD extruder. I was talking to them, and they were running a tandem setup with their extruders. I think was it at 3D Printopia last year? And that was the first time I'd seen anyone run it, and I thought like that is a genius idea for flexible filaments. Could you not run it as a second extruder on Clipper? I would think you could. I would think you could, GPs. Yeah, that's my thing. It's like, I don't see how that would be a limitation because Clipper is such a, like, you know, the world is your oyster with Clipper, really. You can macro and configure. Sorry if this is really loud. I don't know how loud the ripping paper sound is through the noise cancellation, but they did have a second one as yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, they were telling me that they were printing, I think they showed me an example of printing like 65A shore hardness. And I don't know how they did that. I don't know if they just had a PTFE tube that had a really wide inner diameter, but my experience has been with flexible filament that sure for like 95A, 90A, maybe 85A, going through a Bowden tube as like a reverse Bowden or guide tube isn't really a huge issue. But once you get softer than that, it really starts to drag even on the PTFE tube inner diameter of it, or the inner walls of it. So what's up, Zombie? Happy hump day, man. Hey, Queasy. Hope you guys are having a great week. Well, I will say that this these panels are peeling a bit easier. I had to peel. I was doing some laser work in the last couple days here for the Lightburn video, and I had some acrylic, and it tore like every tiny little segment. I ended up giving up. I cleared out what I had to clear out for the sake of the video, and then was like, this is ridiculous. So I don't know if it's because I had the acrylic for so long that the adhesive has kind of bonded, or if it's just a matter of, you know, different manufacturers using different adhesives, but this is peeling way nicer than the stuff I was just trying to peel yesterday or the day before. Turn this sideways. Also, someone remind me too, because I am going to be strict on the cutoff time for today's stream at 2 hours. So in 25 minutes, we will open up the giveaway link, and then I'll end up doing a lot of this panel stuff on my own time, but at least we'll get the ball rolling, since that's what we were supposed to do last week. And within the first couple minutes I realized, oh, I didn't print out anything I needed to print out for this. We're not doing this today. I'm about to finalize the panels I need for Doom Trident. Nice. Where are you gonna get the panels from? I can't remember if what I saw on yours was a render or if it was your actual build, but whatever I saw that you posted looked really good. Heat the paper and roll it. Paper won't tear. That's okay. That's a really good idea. I will. For this, I'm okay with it. Also, my heat gun is upstairs, so this isn't that big of a deal. But for the other stuff that I'm messing with, I'll try that next time, because it was just. I mean, I don't think that I've used that many bad words in a short segment in a while. I was getting really frustrated. I tried all the I tried all the other tricks of like, you know, tearing it like not tearing, but peeling it at a slight angle to see if I can get it to pull, and it was just like, the acrylic was not having it, or the adhesive backing was not having it. Looks like happy. Oh, cool. Nice. Did you guys see, I know you did, Zombie, because you posted it, but like the snapping turtle Kickstarter filament cutter thing? I'm really interested in that. Granted, like, I think tool changers are still like the best option out there when possible, but not having, like, it should speed up your print by not having to use a cutting arm that like has to physically move. And also make the calibration process a lot easier because you don't have to worry about setting that all up because it's built into your tool head. It's really cool looking. Okay, so let's peel off a little bit of this film. Okay, so this needs to go like what? Like this. Ooh. And then I should probably get some screws ready because I don't want to drop this. Screws are right here. There we go. Let's grab them actually and put them out here. Okay, here we go. Oh, I'm trying to keep fingerprints off of it, but it's acrylic, it's gonna happen. All right. Man, just having one panel even in place like this feels awesome. Do you guys have a preference? Like I can change the camera to this, but I don't know if that's really, that's not bad. It's not a bad angle, I guess. It does feel a little bit weird being closed out of the printer now though. Yeah, I need to tighten all of these down too. So let me tighten this one before I forget. Okay. This one, we'll leave these loose until I actually secure them. The response has been mixed when I talk to people. One toolhead designer was worried about the extra height and the moment angles it creates. Lots of others were saying they wanted no rainbow bar for LED to lighten the unit. Got it. I mean, I'm not saying it's like the answer for everybody, right? But I'm saying I wouldn't mind, based off what I'm seeing initially, throwing that on even like this printer, for example. Like this is set up to where they plan, like if you look at, and you can't really see it from there, but this is a Filomatrix mod setup. And I thought that was kind of odd. And I told myself that there's no way I'm using a multi-filament setup on this until I confirm its reliability, which at this point I'm nowhere near considering. But if I swap out all the electronics and stuff on it and get this thing going in a way where it's working relatively well, then I could see myself wanting to use something like that, especially for continuous filament printing. Like if I don't really have any larger than 1 kilogram spools as far as I'm aware. And so if I could load up a bunch of 1 kilogram spools and have it, you know, basically tap into the next one when it finishes, I would really like that on a big printer such as this one. But yeah, I'm not saying it's the answer for like every printer should just have this by default. I'm still using the Jabberwocky for the all-wheel drive Trident, but as everyone said, and in testing, it's far too slow. So I have a Jabberwocky that I was planning on throwing on my 2.4, and I still very well may throw it on my 2.4. What specifically about it is too slow? Just the weight of it? Because I would assume there's a bunch of customization options that you can do for you know, tool head and extruder setup on there. Well, I guess not. Maybe not the extruder, because the extruder is meant to be the orbiter, but the orbiter should be fine for fast printing. So is it just that the mass of it is what's causing it to print slower? Okay, I can't reach those, so we'll just continue forward. So we need what? Two more, then this side's done. Flow and cooling. But can you not just swap out the hot end on it? I haven't actually looked at what the, oh, this is, oh, I'm using the wrong screws. Where did I get these from? These are not the right screws. I don't know where these came from, but these are not what I want to be using. These are what I want to be using. Flow weight is not really, it has to be bamboo form factor. Got it. Does it have to be bamboo form factor regarding length? Because I have a pretty cool hot end coming in that is bamboo form factor heatsink, but it's a lot, actually I don't even think it's a lot longer. It uses a special, like, it's a proprietary nozzle system, and they shave back the heatsink, and I think it uses 2 heaters instead of 1. I'll show you guys when I get it. It's coming, it's a Swiss company. And so I'm wondering if that might be a good setup for it. I'm probably gonna do a video just installing it on a bamboo printer, and you know, we'll look at it and do some flow testing and stuff, but I wonder if that might be a good option for the Jabberwocky. Okay. So it's not that bad. Like, there's definitely some flex, like as there should be. It's a big acrylic panel that's only 3 millimeters thick, but it's not awful. I know that based off what everyone said, it's gonna warp around the edges here. And there was no mention of putting any sort of insulation film or tape, like foam tape around here, which I don't actually know how I could do that based off the way this is. This is, instead of it pushing up against the extrusions, it's kind of like loosely sliding, like loosely fit between the extrusions, but like outside of the warping that's probably gonna happen, almost guaranteed is gonna happen, it doesn't feel that bad. All right, I'll sit for 1 sec here. I'm a big fan of the Micro Swiss. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing a video, actually what I'm working right now is Micro Swiss video on their hot end for the A1, A1 Mini, and the H2D. It is a sponsored video, so it's not really a review. Normally, they sponsored videos for many years now, but usually, like, the way it works is when they sponsor a video, it's an install video, but because the A1 doesn't really have there's no install, right? Like, you're basically flipping a latch and slapping it in. What I am gonna do is run some flow tests. It's just gonna be PLA and PETG flow tests, probably, because I'm using it on the A1 Mini, but that's what it'll have. But I have been really happy with Micro Swiss's setup in general, and because I'm running Flowtech on quite a few different machines here, although the nozzle is proprietary, it's proprietary within their ecosystem, so I'm at least able to use the same nozzles on a bunch of stuff. The dual heater hot ends then mean you can't use LDO tool head boards, last I checked, is they don't have the MOSFETs that will cope with it. Interesting. It'll end up warping around the edges and cracking around the mounting holes. Ouch. Okay, you said nothing but ABS. Got it. I don't plan on, my plan from the beginning was not to do ABS on this printer, so then maybe with PLA and PETG I'll be okay. Yeah, just due to the size of it and how long it's take to heat up, like I also don't have any need for large ABS parts on this thing. PETG I could definitely see, because some of the stuff I'd like to print might end up outside, and so I at least want something. ASA would be ideal, but PETG should be sufficient because it's got, UV's got like built-in UV resistance, which is nice, and the thermal resilience over PLA should make it fine, but yeah, I could see that. I love the setup on the SVO8, yeah. Are you just enclosing for warp control? Yeah, primarily. So warp control is part of it, also just to help with, like, the beds actually heat up relatively quick. We did stagger heating a couple times on this, and it got to 60 Celsius, or 55 or 60, whatever it was set to, a lot quicker than I expected. But the thing is, this printer is gonna live in the garage because of its footprint and not being able to go through any door frame. And there's a laser and a CNC machine here, and the next couple months are gonna have me out here a lot doing CNC work for light burn and Milmage things. And I just want any sort of barrier between sawdust that doesn't make it into the dust collection system and the linear rails on here. So I know it won't do a perfect job, but my thought in the end was like, hey, any sort of perimeter or barrier between sawdust and the rails is a plus. So yeah, that's exactly why I'm doing the enclosure on it. Yep. PETG garden chairs. Chest pieces would be fun. Chest pieces would be a lot of fun, but that's a lot of filament. I want to do stuff where, like, it kind of makes sense, sort of. I could see myself wanting to do some, like, little furniture for Landon or something like that. Maybe like a little baby chair, baby stool. But it still makes more sense to do that on the CNC or laser, but it still could be cool to do it in, like, more of like an organic design where you couldn't easily do that on the CNC using, you know, like panel material. Okay, so our first piece is on. I'm not jumping into the second piece on this side yet because of electronics and that snuck up on me. My allergies have actually, I think I've been so busy talking and I haven't really paid attention to them, but that snuck up on me. Test pieces are way more fun on the CNC. Yeah, I'm going to be making a stool on the CNC machine for a Milmage project in the nearest future, so I'm excited about that. But it's just going to be panel wood with like dog bones, and they'll slot together, and then probably just use some wood glue to secure it all. But I have seen some pretty cool, like on the I can show you guys this. We always do side quests and we're just putting panels on. Let me put my coffee in the printer because that's what a big printer is for. If I go like this and I go to the CNC large delta part daddy. So wow, I didn't know they actually sold it. So $50,000. But I got to see this at the first Murph I ever went to back in 2018, and they were printing out bar stools. Are they actually? I don't think that's what they were. These are vases, but they were printing out bar stools on them, and they looked freaking sweet. It uses a pellet extruder because of, I mean, the size of it. So I think if I remember correctly, it like has a tub and sort of, I could be wrong. It's been a lot of years. But if I remember correctly, there's like a vacuum type setup that basically sucks pellets from a big tub and then it extrudes them. And because of that, we were getting like really cool mixtures of colors as it was printing out these things. What's the overall size? Yeah, 900 millimeters. I was trying to figure out where it's gonna live, and originally it was gonna be over here on this side of the garage, but we have now a lot of electrical over here. And so I did some measuring, and I know that this is imperial, which might not mean a lot to anybody, but this is approximately 36.5 inches. That's not including the electronics box. So let's call it like 39 inches. And I was measuring this wall here, and this wall is like 41 inches. So it could actually sit in this corner, and maybe I can move this. Eventually, all this stuff is going into a shed when we get a shed built, hopefully in the next like 6 or so months. So this area will be clear. And I was thinking about originally putting like a desk here, but maybe this shelf will go here. That printer can go there. I can put a tiny desk here. I'll figure it out once this stuff's out of here, and then I can think a little bit more and figure out like how I actually want to set this thing up. Lighting is the next thing I really need to get installed, and I think I've narrowed it down to the lights I'm going to get for the ceiling, but they're a lot more expensive than I wanted. They're basically like non-flicker LED, and I need 6 of them. I'll probably do like 2, 2, and 2 across the single bay to give better lighting in here. But yeah, eventually this space will look a lot better. I won't have like rakes and shovels and stuff off to the side here. Right now, this was a very much like, this is for light burn stuff, this side, and Milmage stuff. And so this was just a quick like, oh my God, this printer can't be built upstairs. What do we do? And here we are, you know. Yeah, it's too wide to go through the door, exactly. So, all right, let's jump back over to where we were, which was here. So we did that side. This is the back side. So I think that's what we're gonna do next, is the back side. And I think the back side is the same, it looks like, as the LTX. Since you did this, are all sides the same with the exception of obviously the doors being different, but is top, left, right, and back the same sort of setup? A custom sized bench with shelves or drawers would give you a lot of extra storage space. You mean for this printer, or just in general, like building one? The best thing I ever did was rearrange my shop 50 times. I did a whole layout in SketchUp before rearranging it the last time for the big CNC. Best decision ever. Yeah, a couple of my coworkers have done that, where they've basically catted up there. I might do the same. I'm not gonna do the full garage because this side is gonna be still, even with all the stuff out, like workout equipment in the corner here, and then half or like a third of the 2-car bay, like part of it's where Aaron parks and the kids get in and out, but the other third of it is just printer racks for basically staging or projects that I've built or printers that I've built. And I need more of that because upstairs there's probably 15 printers on the ground, and I am fine with chaotic mess when I'm in a project, but when I'm done with it, it's very hard for me to start working on the next thing. It's hard for me to start working on the next thing without having some sort of cleaner slate, and I just haven't been able to get that. It is a war zone upstairs. So the panel for the, okay, got it. That makes sense. The panel for electronics box has to be different because wires have to get through it. Okay. But the back is going to be the same, so we can start working on the back. So I will, yeah, we'll probably just start on that then. So let's go ahead and grab, we need you, we need you, we need you. You, we don't need right this second. Okay, let me move you guys over here so I can see what you're saying. Also, someone remind me that we are 8 minutes out from the, 8 minutes out from the giveaway being opened up. Move these panels. These are the panels for the electronics. They've got the slits in them. Okay. Oh, I just realized something. How do you install these corner brackets when there's wires routed through all of them? Do you... That's a problem. I've got wires routed right here where this needs to be. So do I need to just lower this, or yeah, because no wires are gonna be able to pass through that. That's gonna be fun because I'm gonna have to really move a lot of this stuff. There's wires there, there's wires here, there's wires here, there's wires there. You have to loop the wire around. It's terrible. Okay. So I guess we will do something like this. I'll have to cut the plastic on this then. Okay. I don't understand. I would love to know. I'd love to be sitting in the meeting when they were designing this and just ask, why are we not just using the extrusion as our mounting point like every other build? It just doesn't make sense to me why they decided to go with all these printed things. Unless their CNC machine was just small enough, like just too small by a few millimeters. I spent almost a day this week rearranging, so I have all the printers with NDA gear off camera. Now I have a sore back and one printer still is on camera but turned away. I have a green screen cloth that I purchased that I've never used for green screen purposes, and if I'm ever having a printer that isn't supposed to be shown, I just throw the green screen over it, the green screen cloth over it. Same with the center, you have to pull slack because if you stick the wires behind the bracket, the wires catch on the gantry. Wait a minute, same with the center. You have to pull the slack. Got it. So instead of having it tucked behind it, you're saying it has to basically go over it so that way it's still in line with the panel. I don't have slack like that. That is gonna be a challenge. I hope I even left myself enough slack to be able to do that. The center on the sides. I don't have any wire on this side at least. The other side I might. Oh, ba-do-ba-do-do. Let's grab our... Well, we've got one panel on, so, you know, there's that. We chose the easiest side to start with. Okay, so if I pull this out like this, I'm gonna have to redo a lot of this wire cable management stuff. Okay. Yeah, so this needs to get chopped. This plastic piece needs, I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Well, I probably will shortly because it'll be very difficult to chop it once I have the panel on, but I'll at least get all these brackets in place and I'll start worrying about doing that. But yeah, we're gonna have to basically move. I think for right this second, yeah, let's just cut it. What am I saying? Let's just cut it. Let's see if I got some flush cutters somewhere around here. Don't see flush cutters. I have to assume that this kit came with them, so maybe it's on the other side here. Oh, here's some flush cutters. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, it seems like this was almost a troll. Like, why was this even considered and then executed on versus just mounting the acrylic to the sides? Okay. Okay, so that's fine now. Now I've got to pull this side off. So we'll just leave this kind of loose on both sides of this. Try not to damage the wires. Just cut this guy like right here. Okay, and cut this guy maybe like right here. Okay, hopefully that gives us enough distance to work with now. Modbot, those design choices happen when the engineers lose to the marketing and aesthetic people. Well, I am all for, what are words? I'm all for aesthetic, but not at the compromise of function. Form, okay, I'm all for form, but not at the sacrifice of function. That is what I'm trying to say. Those are the words that I meant to say. Don't forget the middle mount in the center of the side of the back. Oh crap, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take this whole thing off because you're right, there's a center mounting point. Okay. So I am gonna have to remove this whole bar thing. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yeah, this is such a strange way to do things. And I know strange, and this checks the boxes of being strange. Okay. That's the ones to watch out for on the gantry. Okay. 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 Time to open the giveaway? Okay, I will do it right now. Thank you. I also put this in the wrong way. I just realized the nut, but I honestly, at this point, I don't care. Like, it's not in the wrong way. It's just aesthetically in the wrong way, so it's sticking out. But at this point, with the way the wires are going to be sticking out anyway, I don't care. We're going to leave it. Plus, the wires will probably help hide it a little bit. Okay, this corner's in. Centers are gonna suck. I don't have any slit in this. I have to remove this, figure out where center is, cut it, figure out how to route the wires around the thing. It's oh, yeah. We might just do the corners and then I'll come back to the centers. Okay, giveaway is opening in just a second here. Thank you for the reminder. I think that was Hobo, right? That reminded me. All right, y'all, let us do this. Where is let me pull up my form really quick. So yeah, next week we won't be working on Venture. We'll be doing something else. My dream is that we're working on the Micron Plus. I have all the parts ready to rock and roll. I'm very excited for that. But if for some reason they don't get here quick enough, I have tracking, but the tracking hasn't updated because I think it won't update until it lands in the United States. So I probably won't know until 24 to 48 hours before. But if not, we'll do something else. Might end up just pulling out the Milo and trying to start working on swapping out the board on it finally. So we will figure that out when the time comes. All right, awesome people. The giveaway form is officially in chat. I will pin it right now. For anyone that is new here, this is for a spool of Polymaker filament. It is a global giveaway. And if you're in the US or Canada and you win, you get a gift card. If you're anywhere else, you get to pick a spool off their website up to $35 in value. So it's really, really awesome. Build it inside the Venture, best of both worlds. Yeah, I was talking with Steve about that a few weeks ago, like maybe 2 months ago now, as a joke for a different stream. And I don't think we're gonna do that. I don't want to do that. But it is certainly something that could work. Yeah, I'm very excited on the Micron. So for anyone that isn't aware, my game plan on the Micron is we are going to build it completely stock based off of the LDO kit that comes in. My nose is so itchy. And then as soon as it's done, I will play around with it for a bit, make a video on it. But then the stage 2 will be, we're going to turn it into a Micron like Mad Max or whatever. So we're going to do 2-headed tool changer setup on there, which I'm really excited about. The Micron size, like honestly, the 120 size of a V0 is good for a lot of what I'm printing, but having the bigger size, even if we're losing a little bit going with the tool changer setup, will be really nice for me being able to test out just 2 different materials really quickly. Quick heat up, quick grab, and I'm very excited for that. So, yeah. So giveaway will be open for 27 minutes or so, and then we will do our drawing here on stream, and then we will end the stream. Also, thank you all 119 of you for hanging out. What are we at likewise? 51 likes. Let's get up to 69 likes. That's our target. One that I know we can achieve because it seems to be every stream we get there. Okay. Let's try to do the other side corners now. Go under this time. Feels weird having my back to you guys. Do you want me to change the camera angle? I can change it to this, which is not probably that great. This is through acrylic. This is probably worse. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think. You guys let me know what your preference is. So you can either look at my back or we can do the side shot like this. And then I'm basically looking at you guys through the acrylic window. I'll give you the preference. Yeah, the Micron has been a build that I've been drooling over and wanting to build for a very, very long time. So I'm ecstatic about this one. I mean, I was bugging you, Zombie, about the tool changer Micron setup for a long time. I was like, that sounds awesome. But then once GP showed me Mad Max on stream, whenever that was, I sort of fell in love. I was like, this looks wicked cool, and more so in line with what probably I need, and just seems to make more sense given the size of the printer. Yeah, that was, I mean, dude, that was before, gosh, before 3D Printopia last year, right? I mean, it was over a year ago. It's been a while. I don't know where the time is gone. It doesn't feel like it's been that long, but looking back on it, it's definitely been quite a long time. Okay. This is probably a better angle, right? Because that way, it just feels weird having my, I mean, I know that my back is still turned to you guys, like in the top left corner, but it feels weird just having my back be the big screen. I didn't love it. Hey, 3D Printcraft. the cables. It just feels rude, I guess, having my back to you guys. The second Rocky Mountain rep. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was. Don't you turn my back on me. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter about these like channel covers right now because I'm gonna have to remove them and cut holes in the center. Or not holes, but like remove material from the center of them. Okay, so we got our corner in. We got one more corner, which is the bottom, this corner, bottom left. So let's do that. This little strip already fell out, which is what I had covering it. So I only need to remove the bottom on it like this. And I will probably just cut off some material right now. Like this. Okay. Oh, this is popping out too. So let's just remove it. It's all... Let's just undo all the work. Undo all the work that I had previously done. You think you can go to events next year? I don't know, man. It's so... Maybe. I think that if I target one event, I can probably make that happen, but it's super difficult for a lot of reasons. One, like, granted, baby will be a little bit older. So my parents will be out here. They're out here now, and they'll be staying out here until April next year in Idaho. So, like, if Erin needed help while I was gone, she could get help, which is nice. The Lightburn and video stuff is a pretty tight schedule as well, and we need a lot of video work done. So, not that I couldn't do that. I could probably try to just double down 1 week, so that way I have a week off, basically, and they would be fine with that. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of sort of factors at play. I would like to at least go to one. I definitely had FOMO this year of not going to anything, and I think it would probably be... It'd probably be a US event, then. I think international would probably be too complicated. But it'd be nice to see some of you guys. We missed you at Vice, but you didn't get COVID, so... Yeah, I felt really bad. I saw someone post about it on social media that, like, yeah, a lot of people are coming down with it, and I saw Mandic post that he got COVID too, and I'm like, ah, geez. I'm thankful I didn't go because of that, especially having the newborn here. I would have felt awful bringing that back home just because he's so young. Like, yeah, let's let him build up some immune system before exposure like that. But I talked to Steve, actually, today's what, Wednesday? So I talked to him on Monday for a little bit, and it sounded like the event was a really good event, though. So I'm happy to hear that. Outside of, obviously, a lot of people getting sick, but the event itself sounded like it was fun. Someone canceled my afternoon meeting, so... Oh, nice! How are you doing, Ted? You doing all right? Get in the giveaway. It has to be a quicker stream today. I've just a bunch of stuff to do, and the last couple of weeks I've been saying, oh, it'll be a quick stream. Then I'm like, oh, it's been 3 hours, so I have a hard cutoff in 20 minutes. So definitely get in the giveaway. Vice was fun, and I only got to go Sunday. Met Steve. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I would have liked to have gone. I would have liked to have gone. The idea of an event that's more just like less marketing-y, not that they're all that way. There's lots of really cool stuff at all the events, right? Like there's always vendors, which is fun to see new stuff coming out too, but having it really just be a focus on like printer tech, talking with other people in the community, like that seems right up my alley of something that I would very much so enjoy. Because I never shoot any footage at any of the events, I don't think either, so not being able to do that at Vice is no problem for me. Okay, so we'll leave this guy loose for now. Okay, so everything else is going to require cutting. Cutting the covers. So we can start with this guy, I suppose. I basically just have to pull this off completely, which is unfortunate. We can change camera angle, I guess, just for a moment here, so that way you can see this. Let's see, I think it's just, is it this one? Yeah. for what it's worth, we missed you this year at 30. I appreciate that. Yeah, I definitely. It's a lot of fun meeting up with everybody, and it's hanging out online is fun, and like that's obviously mainly what I do, but it's certainly a different level of energy and excitement, like being able to see old friends, meet new friends, like put faces to screen names. I really enjoy it. So I do find them exhausting. I certainly my personality type is very much so like extroverted introvert, and so after the events I'm usually like I come home and I'm like I don't want to talk to anybody for days. I get very tired from all the socializing and overstimulation, sensory overload for me, but I really do enjoy it. I escaped without COVID. Nice, dude. I need to know what your strategy is, or what your method was to get in and get out. This is the wrong driver. I'm very much like that. Yeah, I've always been like that. I did a ton of trade shows when I used to work at Matter Hackers. Like, they sent me, I was supposed to do like half the trade shows, and then the girl that was supposed to do the other half ended up getting let go. And so they were like, okay, Daniel, you're doing all of them. So I think I went from, it was like, they flew me up to Bay Area Maker Faire. I don't think I even got to go home. I think I went from Bay Area Maker Faire to Detroit for another show. And I think after Detroit, I got to go home for like a week, and they sent me to another show, and I was so dead. I think it's because how I described like my personality usually is either like I'm completely like lights are on but nobody's home, or it's the mouse on the wheel. Well, the social interaction and like all of the discussion and excitement and sounds and noises, like it's like hamster on the wheel times 2, and it's like that for the entire time I'm there. And then at the end of it, it's like that 2x, like the gas tank just needs to be refilled, and so I have to just have to chill. While there's other people that are like extroverted extroverts, where it just like the socializing just keeps refilling their tank indefinitely, or maybe not. That might be a slight exaggeration, but like more so. And I'm a little envious. I wish I could do that, but I just can't. I definitely get into like a bit of my own bubble after so long. So I think that's fairly common. I've definitely talked to people that are like, yeah, no, I mean, Bearded says the same thing, but I've talked to other people that are like, that's me as well. Just luck, and I had COVID in August. Oh, got it. Okay, so you probably had like a super firewall up. Yeah, I haven't caught it since, I caught it the first time at my first event with Lightburn, which was Murph, actually, back in 2020, I think. And then I think I got it a second time when my wife got it, when a friend came and visited that had it. And that time wasn't bad at all for me, because I think I'd had it previously, like not that long before. So it wasn't too bad. But the first one, because I avoided it for so many years, when I first got it at Murph, before my trip home, luckily my cousin lives in Chicago, so I was basically able to delay my flight and just crash at her place in the guest room. It kicked my butt. I basically like, I almost feel like I blacked out for 2 days. I just remember having chills and not really being able to leave bed, and like having to go to the restroom was such a struggle because of how weak and cold I felt. And that was brutal. But the second time I got it, it was a fraction. Like I don't think I had a whole lot other than being a little tired. I'm a learned extrovert. It's not my natural state. Okay, let's change camera angles again. I feel like too much back view here. There we go. Okay, so we'll get this last guy in, and then I have to figure out all of this cable management goodness. So also LTX, if I am understanding what you're saying, no, the wires don't have to go over it. They just basically have to go behind it, but it needs to be pretty tight as well, because otherwise the belt will collide with it. So that will be interesting. I'm very introverted. I get pretty bad social anxiety if I need to be around crowds. Yeah, I mean, my panic attacks definitely happen a lot if I'm going to an event. Like that's when they would typically have flared up. I usually have to, like at an event, I'll oftentimes at some point exclude myself from the situation for a little bit to recharge. Like at at LBX, which is the Lightburn event. That's the only event I went to last year. That one I had to go do. They needed all hands on deck, and I wasn't going to let my team try to juggle it all, so I helped with that. But there was like a lunch break or two where I took my lunch and I left the venue and walked back to my hotel room and just sat in silence in my room and ate my food. And that was enough, just getting that like 30 minutes to an hour of recharge time to be able to bounce back and be fine again. But yeah, I definitely like to find a quiet corner after a while just to chill. The corners of the gantry can pinch the wires if they get caught. Don't ask how I found out. Okay. So I think that tight grouping is going to be important. I very likely will end up adding zip ties to any of the exposed sections. Okay, so center, if I'm using this guy as an example, center needs to go further down on this. So we need to drop you down to approximately here. It's approximately center. It's probably going to need a little bit of nudging, but okay. I have no idea on that side. I have no idea on that side. Okay, I think what I'll do is I will start by peeling off one of the covers so I can place it on here, get this aligned, and then I can work on covering these wires. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and change camera. Let me grab this. Also, I don't know if I've said in the last 10 minutes, but giveaway link is open. We're gonna be doing our filament drawing in about 13 minutes. So if you want to enter in, the link is pinned in chat. Let's see. Oh, you know, I can just use this. Here we go. Boop. There we go. Okay, so what do I need? I need panels. I just realized that there's black panels as well. Am I supposed to use black panels for the backside? That kind of makes sense. That's probably what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't think there's enough clear panels. So the back panels must be these black ones. That makes a lot of sense. Why would you want to see through your printer? I mean, I guess the Snapmaker has it, and it is kind of cool being able to see from behind, but top and back. Okay, top and back are black. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Anxiety and introversion are the main reasons I work alone at night. Yeah. I definitely can relate. I mentioned earlier, but I've taken a medication for 10 years, which has improved my quality of life greatly because I didn't get panic attacks. I've always had social anxiety, believe it or not. Like, I know you're like, oh, you create stuff online, but no. I have really bad social anxiety. I've always just dealt with it. And then in my early 20s, when I got panic attacks, I didn't know what a panic attack was. I just thought that, like, I thought I was dying. Like, I mean, not to be dramatic, it is this feeling of like pure terror and adrenaline being pumped into your body, where it feels like, the only way I can describe it is, for anyone that hasn't experienced it, it feels to me what I would imagine it feels like when, like in a horror movie, when like the killer is chasing the person, they're trying to kill them. Like, that's the feeling of you being the person being chased, but there's no obvious like threat. And so it's a very confusing situation because you just feel terrified and adrenaline, and it's just this insane feeling, but it's all basically made up. Like, it's your brain like manifesting something, and then chemically something's off, so your brain's not able to get out of the cycle. It's wild. It is something that I don't wish on anybody. It is just not fun. It's terrifying. So, but luckily the medication I've been taking for 10 years, like, it makes it where I still have I've described it as like, before, like, it was kind of like this, my days, and now it's like more like a kiddie roller coaster where I still have my peaks and valleys. I still feel very much like myself. That was a concern. I didn't want to feel like a zombie. I still feel exactly like myself, but I'm able to function, and my quality of life has substantially improved. So I'm thankful for that. I know of what you speak. Yeah, it's terrifying. It is absolutely terrifying. When it first happened, I did all sorts of medical tests because I thought for sure, like, you know, something was wrong that they'd be able to see. But after doing all the medical tests, they're like, no, we don't see anything. We think it might just be panic, or I don't know if they said might just be panic attacks, like playing it down, but they, you know, said they think that's what it is. Warm the panel up and roll the paper. It will come off right and over and not tear. Okay. I don't have my my wireless heat gun, and I don't want to go inside right this second. So what I can probably use is my rework station, which has been sitting here collecting dust for years now. Let's see. I used to use this when I was doing a lot of video game hacking and stuff, a little desoldering. It's a lot stronger than my Ryobi one. Let's see. Jack? Baby? Hey, can I carry you? I don't want you to walk in your socks, my love. Hey, no, that's not carrying you, son. You look adorable, dude. I haven't seen you in a onesie in a little bit. Hold on. Can you stand up? You gotta say hi real quick. Wait up. Okay. Can you say hi to the camera over there? Say hi. Look at, he's a giant. He's a raccoon. Did you just wake up from your nap? Yeah. Was it a good nap? Yeah. Yeah, good. Daddy is putting on, check it out. Don't fall. You're okay? Yeah. Okay, look at this. See this? Yeah. Daddy put on one panel. Can you give him a high five? Yeah. So now I'm trying to put on another panel on the back side. We're gonna enclose this whole printer. Yeah. Pretty cool, huh? And then you can live inside of it, huh? Yeah. I appreciate it. Everyone says hi. Say hi. Hi. Okay. Well, you can sit for 1 minute and then I have to walk you back inside, okay? Because Daddy's gonna work with a heat gun and I don't want you around when I'm doing that, okay? So can you stay here for a minute? Daddy's gonna plug it all in? Yeah. Okay, you stay here, don't go anywhere, okay? What's what? That is paper. That is trash, actually, from the acrylic. Hold on. This is a very awkward way I'm doing this. Let's see. There we go. That is paper from the acrylic. It's just, it's to protect it, so that way it doesn't get scratched. You see this? Now this is a power extension cable, so that way Dad can use the heat gun thing to hopefully get... What, baby? Yeah, it's electricity. Electricity. Oh, you know what? I also need like a standard power. What, baby? Electricity, that's right. This is not scary? Well, you have to respect electricity though, because it can be very dangerous. It can be dangerous, so you do have to respect it. It's not scary, but you need to respect it. Okay. Okay, Daddy's gonna plug this in. I'm gonna go inside in about very soon here. So can you say bye-bye and then I'll walk you in and then Daddy will come in shortly? Okay, let me stand you up one more time. You can say bye-bye. 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 You can blow a kiss? Oh, that's very nice. Okay, we'll carry you in just so you don't get your feet dirty. Daddy will be inside very shortly, okay? Uh-oh, your blanket's stuck in the door. Get your blanket, okay? Love you. I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so you're saying that you would do the top panel before you do the back panels. The top is going to give you a much harder once the back is on. Got it. Is the top panel unique? Is the top panel different, or is it the same black panels that I just grabbed? Because I've basically got let's see, so this is clear, this is clear, this is clear, no, this is not clear. So do the top panels have holes in them? They must. This must be the top panels. The top panels are bigger. They look like they're longer. Let's see. And why are the holes? Why is there holes in the top? Oh, is that for maybe the filament to pass through? Yeah, this looks like it's top panels right here. I'm just gonna leave this like that. What are the holes for though in the top panel? It's kind of strange. All right, if you haven't smacked the like button, we gotta get to 69 likes. We need 7 more people. They have 4 filament holes. Oh, that's so silly. I'll probably end up plugging them. I'm probably gonna have the filament come in through the back, even though that would require me, I'd have to get custom panels for at least the back then to do that. Yeah, why do they have this set up as a 4-color printer? Like intended to be with like a box turtle. It's such a weird default to me. Nice, we got 69 likes. Thank you, everybody. So 4 more minutes, and then we will do our giveaway drawing. So you're saying we should do the top first. So I can start putting in those brackets, I suppose, and then we'll do the giveaway in just a minute here. So let me grab a little step stool because I am relatively tall, but this printer certainly makes me look small and feel small. So let's grab a little step stool. And let's grab, grab this, grab this, grab this. Oh, and grab this. Okie dokie. So we'll start with the corners, I guess, because that's going to be the same. Go in places where I've never gone before. Hi, everybody. I can still see you guys. I'm going to lay you guys down so I can see you guys like this. There we go. Okay, nice. We got 77 likes. Thank you, everybody. You guys are awesome. Okay. Going places I've never had to go before for a printer. Make sure my fly is zipped. Yep. I didn't get a whole lot of time this morning to prepare. I was like, got up, I was like, oh my God, the alarm, because I slept in later than I thought I was going to, and like had a bowl of special K cereal and ran to set everything up to stream. Okay. Entering the draw without hitting the like is a social. I tried a box turtle on my venture. The BT was not happy with that long of a filament path. Interesting. It would hang up halfway through. Got it. 2 years. Thank you so much, Adam. Let me see if I can, with my screwdriver, get a sound effect. Whoop, and yeah, Hadouken. Thank you so much for the support, man. 2 stinking years. I wonder if though, I would assume that you can adjust that, right? Like as a setting. Because I could see how it would air out. There has to be some sort of distance where the box turtle is gonna be like, nah, man, like this is too far, something's wrong. Like I'm not triggering the toolhead switch, but there has to be an ability to adjust that in the firmware that, you know, that controls that, I would think. It still might not love it, but I would think that there would have to be a way that you can make it where it would work. I would love to, like, I do think that a box turtle on this would be nice for filament run out. Like that's the only thing for me I mentioned earlier. If you've got, you know, I've got a lot more, I think I've got like 2-3 kilogram spools maybe, or 3 if that. So a lot of what I'll be running is 1 kilogram, but clearly if you're running big prints on this, you can burn through a kilogram like nothing. So it would be nice to be able to load up 2, 3, 4, 1 kilogram spools and just have it auto go into the next one. But it'll be a while before I feel confident enough in the printer's ability to do that successfully before I want to send something that big at it. Jack is crying. Okay, once I get this bracket in, we'll do the giveaway. Why are we not? There we go. Just gotta put your neck into it. Wait, can you guys see? Yeah, you guys can see me. Okay, the camera's, the stream that I'm seeing is a much older, like it hasn't refreshed. I might try VYD on the venture. I ended up getting rid of the big box shortly after taking it off the venture. Got it. Yeah, I'm really curious about that. I asked about it a long time ago, and it told me like, yeah, you know, it's still being worked on or in beta or whatever. So clearly, since they're doing marketing on it, I have to assume it's really close to launching. But I haven't heard anything like outside of what everyone else has seen. So. But yeah, on this printer specifically, I do think that if the snapping turtle ends up working well, it could be really nice to not have to have this thing travel over and do the whole cutting arm thing and just cut where it is. Because this thing, like, it's not going to be, the goal of this printer isn't crank out as fast as we can, at least not in speed, maybe in flow and stuff like that. But I do think it could be really nice. Okay, let us do this. So if anyone is entering into the giveaway still, you've got another minute or so, and then I'm going to remove it. I just realized also I have it on zoomed in. That's what I meant to show you guys. One last bit of exactly, UPS deliver the package. Nice! I will run to the mailbox after the stream then. Our mailbox is not out front. I have to go down like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 or 9 houses to get to the mailbox. They just released pricing on it, so oh nice. What is the price point on it? And it's fully assembled, right? It's not like a kit thing. It's got to be fully assembled. Sorry, everyone's ears. Okay, I am removing the giveaway form, and so if you're entering it in, you've got another 60 seconds here. Thank you for the bless. And then Gesundheit. Let's see, remove, unpin. There we go. Thanks for the reminder. I'm now tinkercatting my home's basement. Yeah, it's a really cool idea. I've thought about doing it before, but because we moved every couple years prior to being here, like we moved 2, 3, 4, 5 times in the last 7 years. So we just never were anywhere very long. So I was like, but since we're here for keeps, at least as long as we can be, which the plan is not going anywhere, then it makes a lot more sense. And this room is simple enough where, it's basically just 4 pretty straight walls with, I'll need to account for the door and like the not half wall, but like the opening here. But it would make planning things a lot easier. There's certain things I can't do anything about, like the CNC has to be right there at the front and the big laser has to be there at the front. But like this section, I do have control over as far as how I want to lay it out. What material? It's LDO sent over their filament, so it is ASA and ABS. I can't remember which one of the 2 colors. It's orange and blue. So I can't take credit for the color design colors on it because I think it's definitely a popular color combo. But Art K, when I messaged him a few weeks back, sent over like 4 or 5 different renderings of colors, and I saw the orange and blue and was like, I haven't done a build like that. That looks gorgeous. So yeah, it's like a light blue with like a fairly bright orange. It's gonna look really pretty. Okay, let's do this giveaway, y'all. Hey, did I just see Delmar? What's up? Delmar. Orange is ASA, blue is ABS. Thank you, Delmar knows. That's why Delmar knows these things. All right, let's see. How many entries do we have? We have got, nice, 102. Very cool. Let's go ahead and download the responses. Open this in downloads folder, extract all. Yes. And then go to Google Drive. Okay, so let's make sure we've got 102 people here. Sure do. Oops, that's not the right button. Nice! Thank you, man, for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you for all the support. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. Okay. All right, I think I did the thing. Let's see. Let me refresh this page really quick. Let's see. Down Under got one. Timor got one. Trainwreck War got one. Ron Shoot got one, and Weave got one. There we go, all the names. Alrighty, so for anyone that is new here, quick little overview of the giveaway. So thank you to Polymaker for letting us do these awesome giveaways. The way it works is the winner will receive an email from me within 24 hours, and the email will come from my personal email, so be on the lookout for it. It will have a link for a form and a unique ID that you'll need to fill out. If you're in the US or Canada, you will receive a $35 gift card. If you're outside of the US or Canada, then you'll get to pick a spool of filament off their website, I think up to $35 in value. So it's pretty freaking awesome. Also, someone just mentioned that Polymaker has a sale going on right now, which makes sense because we're getting closer to Black Friday. If you do need to pick up some filament and you'd like to support the channel, there is a link in the description, and it doesn't cost you anything, but it does, a portion of each sale does go back to support the channel. So I really appreciate it. I just used pretty much all of my affiliate sales to fix the this lens that I snapped in half on accident. That was a $300 repair. So it is appreciated, and it does go to things that I need, which hopefully is things more like lighting versus snapping things I already have. But that's a different conversation. Okay, so let's see. How many times are we going to shuffle today? Let's see. It is I think 16 days until my brother's birthday. We can do 16 for my brother. What else do we got coming up this month? Yeah, 16 is the only number I've got right this second in my head. You're not supposed to break the lenses, it's bad luck. So I've been told. I will say, like, for using DSLRs for over a decade now, I've only ever broken 2 lenses, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think that, like, for people that take the cameras out, they're usually strapped to them, like, you know, with a gimbal setup or over the neck. But because I'm using tripods and sometimes the angles are like really high up, they either I don't drop them down after, which is a huge mistake, or I don't tighten a leg fully. Like, I didn't realize the leg wasn't fully tightened, so one leg starts to sag and then it falls over. Yeah, I definitely, after the first one broke 5 or 6 years ago, like, I'm very careful and paranoid. The one that I recently broke was such a dumb situation. I was sleeping upstairs on an air mattress because it was like, we had a bunch of family over, and it's either the baby had just been born or the baby was about to be born. I got out of bed in the morning and literally stepped out of bed. My glasses weren't on, so I couldn't see very well. I hooked one of the legs of the tripod. Tripod fell, and we have carpet upstairs, but I think that the tripod fell in a way where it hit the either wood or quartz build area that we stream on upstairs, and the lens just took the full impact, and it split the whole thing in two. It was a epic way to start my day. Let's just say that. Okay, we'll do 16. 16 for my brother. 16 for Brother Bear. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, awesome people. Good luck to each and every one of you. And here we go in 3, 2, 1. No, it's not the bedroom. The air mattress was in my studio because there was nowhere else for me to sleep. Akball 34, you are today's. Oh, that is the right camera. You are today's winner. Congrats. Oh, that's not the button I meant to press, but I do wonder what's for dinner. We're having chicken, I think. Congratulations to Akball. You are this week's winner. So be on the lookout for an email from me, which will probably come this evening. And thank you once again to Polymaker and everybody for entering in. We will do the same thing next week, but probably from upstairs in the upstairs studio. I don't think we're gonna build the micron out here. I think we'll build it up. Probably, we'll see. So let's, on that note, let's go ahead and call it here. Sorry, your comment. Just a reminder, everyone, even if you didn't win the giveaway, you're still all winners in my book. That is very nice. We need I need like an ah button. We'll do we'll do that for Bearded. But yeah, thank you all for hanging out. Apologies, today's a little bit shorter of a stream, but the last ones have been really long and there's just a lot going on. So I'm gonna try to as much as I can to get the video worked on today and finish shooting and finish scripting and finish all that stuff. And then next week we will not be continuing the venture. I will, on my own time, get the rest of the panels on, try to finish up cable management, clean up the stuff there, and then just see if I can print with it in its current state for a little bit. If that ends up being a huge issue, that won't end up happening, but I'd like to review the printer in a mostly stock state, which the only thing we've done different is the hot end is different, but other than that, it's stock right now. But long term, based off of everything I'm seeing and hearing, we will probably be swapping out this to either LDO or Big Tree Tech Electronics. It might be Big Tree Tech Electronics. I've already got their new like Gen 2 EBB toolhead boards, so we'll probably do that. But yeah, I'd like to just get this thing put together and just start printing some stuff on it. That's the dream. So, almost got one panel. Hey, there is a panel on, Zombie. There is a panel on. We almost got 2 panels on, okay? And after last week, I'm not getting any panels on. I'll take it. I knew today was going to be kind of like a chill hangout stream anyway, so... And I knew, like, the way this whole build's gone, like, I knew it wouldn't be as simple as, like, yeah, just mount them. Like, of course, all the wires have to get routed carefully now, and I have to redo the cable covers, but I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. The plan is a video this Saturday, if all goes well. If not, then next Saturday there will be absolutely one, but the plan is to have one. And yeah, I hope everyone has a safe, healthy week, and I will catch you guys next time. We've got... How many more streams till Thanksgiving? So 17th. Next week will be the 19th. So we got like 2 more streams left till Thanksgiving here in the States. So do the things and accomplish the stuff. Yes. All right. I appreciate you all. Thank you everyone again for the support. All of our new members, existing members, gifted memberships, and donations. And one more time, thank you to Polymaker and just all of you for being awesome and hanging out with me on your Wednesday morning or night, depending on where you're watching from. So on that, I will catch you guys next time. Take care. Bye, y'all.